Are you referable? Are you referable? Are you referable enough for people to give you referrals without even asking? I'll give you one barometer of your referability. Everyone in this room, myself included, should be getting referrals without asking for them. If you're not getting referrals without asking for them, then there's probably something missing, either in your initial process that you put your clients through or how you're staying in touch with them over time. Because we should all be getting referrals just by virtue of the good work that we do. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do to become more referable. I hope all of you have a client service model, a client service plan. I like to call it a client service promise. It's a model that we follow that helps us determine how often and for what reason we'll be in touch with our clients. You have a choice. You follow the model or you wing it when it comes to client service. One part of the model, I believe, should be building business friendships. Creating business friendships with your clients is what screens them or shields them from the competition. When you build business friendships with your clients, they feel guilty talking to another advisor, right? And there's a lot of ways to build business friendships. Let me give you a couple of thoughts here. You all know about client appreciation events. I hope you're doing client appreciation events. Let me tell you why client appreciations are effective. And by the way, I'm a big believer in small client appreciation events, not large ones. Small ones, a series of small ones over the year. Why? Because the purpose of a client appreciation event is to connect with people, right? It's to connect with these people, your clients and sometimes their guests. If you have a large event, your connections are very thin. Small event, very strong connections. So the power of a client appreciation event is twofold. First of all, you work on that business friendship. You get to develop a relationship that goes beyond the core work that you do with each other, and that creates satisfaction, loyalty, referability. There's a concept in psychology called consistency theory. And I'm not going to give you the details of it, but here's what it means to you. When your clients who like you and trust you get together with other clients who like you and trust you, what's the net result? They all like you and trust you more. It's a very confirming, affirming type of thing to do when you bring people together who like you and trust you. So I hope you're doing that. Now, let's shift to celebration events. Celebrating milestones in your clients' lives, anniversaries, birthdays, retirement. If you have a client that's launching a new product or a new service into the community, help them celebrate that. And here's the beauty. When you do that, your clients invite their friends, they invite their neighbors, they invite their colleagues, they invite their family members, people like themselves, and you're meeting all these people in the context of celebration. Right? We're celebrating something related to our client. These people see that, and they see that relationship you have with your client, and they want that for themselves. Celebration events, while they're not meant to be referral events, turn into referral events because of the dynamic. So please, work on those business friendships. By the way, in case you were wondering, I know some of you are here this afternoon because you saw the program and you said, wow, how did MDRT get Bill Gates to speak on the program? Come on, I know that's true, right? It's Bill Cates with a C, not Gates. Bill Gates has $58 billion. I have a little less, but I'm working on it. Let's talk about being proactive for referrals. If I had to summarize my system in a couple of statements, it would be more referable, become more referable, and be more proactive. So how can you be proactive? Well, one way to do this is to promote referrals, or I like to call it planting seeds for referrals. It's things you can do early in the relationship, and it creates referrals later. So for instance, most of you have heard this thing. I've been teaching this for 16 years. Please don't keep me a secret. Simple little thing. It goes into your client's unconscious. Down the road, they're having a conversation with friends, family, colleagues. They're talking about personal finance. They think about you because you're their advisor. And then, don't keep me a secret, kicks in, and it generates referrals. Sometimes, this one in particular can turn into referrals right on the spot. Let me give you a couple real-life examples. Larry is a financial advisor in Westchester County, New York. Had a client in his office on a Friday morning, says to her, you know, I'm still taking on new clients. I'd appreciate it if you don't keep me a secret. His client thought of her sister, who they talked about in the past, was happy with her advisor, but something must have changed. Because at 6:30 Friday evening, Larry gets a call from the sister. Mr. Denoy, I'd like to meet with you as quickly as possible. How soon can we set it up? They set up a meeting for 10 o'clock Monday morning, and at that meeting, the sister decided to become a client of Larry's and invested $1 million through his practice. Larry told me that this was the fastest turnaround from prospect to client he's ever had, from a Friday evening to a Monday morning. He told me it pays to say, don't keep me a secret, and to work a little late on Fridays. Let me tell you about Mark. Mark's an advisor in Dallas, Texas. Mark had a client in his office, said, please don't keep the important work I do a secret. His client thought of his mother. She had just sold her home. She was downsizing. She had $800,000 in cash. Mark brings that in, starts to work with her, starts to work up a financial plan, discovers she had $4 million with another firm. That money got brought in as well. Mark got a $4.8 million client just by saying, don't keep me a secret, to the son. I don't know about you. I'd try this a few times if I were you. First of all, it's not going to hurt the relationship. They're not going to say, oh, I can't believe you said that, I'm moving my money. No. Probably the worst thing you would hear if you said, don't keep me a secret, is, sure, we'll keep you in mind. That's about the worst thing. Don't keep me a secret. Don't keep us a secret if you have a team approach. Don't keep the important work we do a secret. I've seen people put this on their email signature line. A lot of different ways to use this one. Promotes referrals for down the road. Here's a simple thing you can do. In just a few minutes, we're going to be having a break. You could do this at the break. On your outgoing voicemail, put this outgoing message. If you refer, please leave a message at the tone. If you referred to us, please let us know who we need to thank. Now, everyone who gets your outgoing voicemail knows that you're getting referrals. You've built a business based on referrals. You say thank you for referrals. You celebrate referrals. It promotes that culture of a referral-based practice. What about putting by referral only on your business card? Okay, you can hedge a little, but just put by referral if you want to. But if you put by referral or by referral only on your business card, what message does that send to the world? Successful? Yeah. And when your clients give that card out or they tell other people, they talk about you to others, and they say, you know, she works by referral only, or he'll only meet with you if you're referred into him. And then what happens? The prospect starts saying things like, do you think she has time for me? Do you think he has time for me? And what a great way to be presented in the world, right? Promoting referrals, planting seeds, a lot of different ways you can do this. I started out by telling you my first lesson in referrals. I want to give you another lesson I got in referrals. When I graduated from the University of Maryland, my first job was selling home improvement services. Not a very sophisticated selling situation. I was 22. My sales manager, Larry, was 23. Right? He'd been doing it for about 10 months, so he knew a little bit more about it than I did. So my first 3 weeks on the job was to watch Larry do his thing. And then the fourth week, it was my turn to try to run the sales, run the appointments. And he would observe. And I'll never forget, my first sale was a Tuesday night, Bethesda, Maryland, suburb of Washington, D.C., very nice home, walked out with a contract. I drove that night, getting ready to start the car. Larry puts his hand on mine and won't let me start the car. What's up, Larry? You want to debrief or something? Actually, Bill, you forgot the most important thing. Larry, I made the sale. I got the contract. I've got it signed. I got the check. It's signed. What did I forget? You forgot to ask for referrals. Ah, I know about referrals, and you're darn good. Tell you what, tomorrow I'll call them on the phone, see if I can get some that way. Actually, Bill, I was thinking it would be a good training exercise for you to get out of the car now and go back in and ask for referrals. Now I'm thinking this guy's nuts, right? He wants me to get out of the car and go back in and ask for referrals. So my fourth week on the job, in the car, in front of the client's house, we get into an argument about why now is or is not a good time to go back in and ask for referrals. The downstairs light goes off. The upstairs light goes on. They're getting ready for bed. And finally, Larry says to me, Bill, if you don't go in there now and ask for referrals, I'm going to lay on the horn. It's going to wake up the neighborhood, probably blow the sale, and tomorrow you could be looking for a new job. Your choice. Whew. Well, I guess I didn't know any better. I got out of the car. Rang the doorbell. Sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but my sales manager, he's a maniac. He says, if I don't ask you for referrals, I could lose my job. Well, what saved me in this predicament is this guy was a sales manager. And not only did he appreciate me asking for referrals, he appreciated the courage or stupidity it took to get out of the car and go back in and ask for referrals. He says, come on in. Sat me down, gave me 3 great referrals, names, phone numbers, addresses, information. He says, Bill, don't call these people tomorrow morning. Call them tomorrow afternoon, because I'm going to call them tomorrow morning and tell them who you are and why you're calling. 3 great referrals for a new job. And I took one of them, and I sold moving and storage services for about a year. Now, we do not condone Larry's style of management. Obviously pretty heavy-handed, even for back then. But I got to tell you something. Larry gave me a gift. He gave me the gift of awareness, of the awareness of the opportunity that's in front of us every day in terms of referrals. Heck, I've built a business based on referrals. Right? I thank Larry every day for that. And what I try to do in this speech and in my seminars and boot camp and coaching, what I try to do for financial professionals in a kinder, gentler way is create that awareness, that top-of-mind awareness around referrals, and then the confidence, because referrals, it's really just all about confidence. Create the confidence to step into that opportunity that's in front of you on a regular basis. Thank you, Larry.